Pixel art has its roots in old school video games, but now it can pop up anywhere, from this random TurboTax ad that I saw, to that episode of X-Men 97 where they went inside a video game, to toys. It's all over the place. And if you want to learn how to do it, you might not know where to start. There's a lot of information online, and a lot of it is very technical. So I made this video to go over some of the basics to just get you started with figuring out how to go about the process of starting to learn pixel art. And while I talk, I'll pull up some time-lapse footage I did where I took a very famous ancient masterpiece and redrew it with pixels. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Robinson of Robinson Pixels. Let's go ahead and pull up that time-lapse footage. I actually drew this almost a year ago to the day, about a week before I launched the channel. I was thinking it could look good on my wall in the background, but I never printed it. I also never made a video about it or anything, so it's just been collecting digital dust. Until now. And now it's relevant to stuff number 1. Study art beyond pixels. I'm redrawing one section of the Sistine Chapel's roof here. Specifically, this is where God is reaching out towards Adam after creating him, but I'm just focusing on the hands. Now, I thought it could be a cool metaphor if I draw God's hand as a regular drawing, with Adam's hand being pixel art. The idea being that pixel art is created through art, because it is art. It's easy for us to get caught up on creating characters and worlds, and we might forget that what we're actually creating is its own art form. I tend to describe myself as a pixel artist. It's what I enjoy doing most, and it's the form of art that I think I'm best at. But I think it's important to remember that, as a pixel artist, I am an artist. Painters are artists, right? And sculptors, and those people at the fair who draw caricatures. We're all artists. So it helps if we study like artists. Researching photography techniques has helped me get a better grasp on drawing pixelated landscapes. Reading about color theory has helped me improve my palettes. Studying anatomy has helped not just with focused pieces like this drawing of a hand, it'll look better by the end, I promise, but it also helps with intuitively understanding the body, even when you're not drawing something hyper-realistic. Like, Sonic still has hands and elbows. It helps if you know how those things work, even if he is hyper-stylized. I'm not saying you have to be a master artist to be able to do pixel art at all. I'm just saying if you're only studying pixels, you could be limiting yourself from possible growth. Of course, you're here for pixel talk, so it's time for stuff number 2. Study pixels. Honestly, this might seem like the hard part. With drawing and painting, there are pretty much unlimited books you can buy about this stuff. I still have my Draw Alien Fantasies book I got at the Scholastic Book Fair in elementary school, but there's not a lot out there for pixel art. It's still a fairly new art form, and the apps are always changing. I do have Pixels Forever, which is a pretty good guide, but it was only available through Kickstarter. So if you know any good instructional pixel art books, let me know in the comments. I'm sure other people would be interested too. But without many books, that leads us to the internet. There are a few YouTube channels that go over pixel art. Of course, that's what I do here. My channel's like a mixed bag. I've got some specific tutorials, like ones that go over shading and the basics of animation. I've also got a bunch of assorted tips and tricks. You never know what I'm gonna make. My favorite channel, aside from my own, is Brandon James Greer. He draws a lot of extremely charming scenes and is a fantastic teacher. I've learned a lot just by watching him. Adam C. Eunice has a lot of great guides and a ton of game dev commentary if that's your jam. And the last one I'll mention is Pixel Overload. He doesn't upload very often, but when he does, they are absolute bangers. Of course, watching all these videos isn't actually doing pixel art, so let's talk a little bit about stuff number 3. The doing. We've talked about all this without mentioning what software to actually use, and that's for a reason. It doesn't super matter, as long as you've got something that does what you want. For PC, I hear Aseprite is the king of the apps. I still haven't gotten around to trying it. But on iPad, for this picture in the video, I'm popping back and forth. The drawing itself was in Procreate, and the pixel art was in Pixaki. These days, I'm usually using PixSquare. I'll link to all that in the description. As for pixeling itself, I've seen some people recommend beginners start out with very small art. Like, they've recommended drawing a character on a canvas size around 16 by 16 pixels. I get the idea of it. It helps you quickly understand the complex decision-making processes that are sometimes involved in pixel art. This art form requires a lot of thought and analysis. It's not really like a free-flowing art form. So if you draw a character who's 16 pixels tall, you have to figure out exactly what to focus on to make sure that actually reads as a character. Personally, I don't like these sort of restrictions for newbies. I think it's kind of like telling a painter they can only paint on a mini canvas before they're allowed to use a regular medium-sized one. So I would recommend going a little bigger, anywhere between 24 and 48 pixels. That's a sweet spot for me. Much smaller, and it takes me forever to figure out exactly what pixels to include to make sure something is recognizable. Much larger, and you're suddenly spending hours trying to get all the little details just right. And of course it does hit a point where your picture is so big you're basically just drawing. And there are a lot of factors. In this picture, when Adam's hand looked really bad, it was because I was trying to fit a hyper-detailed image into a 32 by 32 canvas. It's funny, you can fit a whole character in a box that size and it looks great, but I couldn't pull off a single hand. And by the end of this video, it's in a box that's 93 by 75 pixels. Of course, I'll scale that up to look good alongside God's hand, but the point is the size of your art is gonna vary based on your needs. But what are those needs? Stuff number 4. Draw what you want. Mindfully. In my very first video on the channel, I mentioned how I had given myself an assignment to really learn pixel art by swapping up character styles, one body part at a time. So I drew a bunch of heads, and then a bunch of torsos, and then a bunch of arms, and then I got distracted and didn't actually finish out the project. I should probably do that. But that's the thing. It's a should do. And I'm not a fan of learning through shoulds. It's exhausting on my brain. Now I do still want to improve, of course, so I hide my shoulds inside of things I want to do. Like when you hide a dog's pill inside of cheese. In this case, I'm both the dog and the cheese man. For example, when I did a video on pixel art clouds, I should have just made clouds, but I wanted to make a scene, so I drew my little grid man on a cliff looking out above the clouds. And when I should have been learning how to draw buildings, because I have way too little practice with that, I drew them along with one of my favorite video game characters, Sly Cooper. Drawing him was a request on the channel, and I wanted to do that. And even here with this image, I knew I should be studying hands, but I managed to turn that idea into an artful image that I feel means something, even if all I did was copy Michelangelo. And by the way, copying is a perfectly valid way to learn how to do stuff. I think it's very important, and you can learn a whole lot of different techniques if you actually, do what other people before you did so that you can know how they did it and why. And that's it. Well, aside from having fun, don't forget to have fun. That's what we're doing here. Being an artist or a game designer or really anything in the creative industry is the dream of a lot of us, right? Including myself. But many of us have not actually fulfilled those dreams. I think that's for a number of reasons, and I go over those reasons and how to solve them in this video right over here. And if you're really just more concerned about pixel art itself and how to draw it, you can check out this playlist over here and follow along for more pixel practice. I'm gonna go over 4 different things. I'm gonna go over some stuff for that. We're gonna say it's 4 different stuffs.